Okay, so we are live.
Okay.
So, hi Adelina.
Hi, nice to see you.
Thank you for coming to our show. A lot of people were actually waiting a lot for them to talk to you. I got a lot of message lately. So again, thank you for making this happen, and thank you to your father Doro. So I owe him a palinka. So thank you very much for taking part in our show. So everybody knows me. So can you tell us something about yourself, Adelina, just for people to know you a little bit?
My name is Adelina Ungureanu. I'm a Romanian volleyball player. I play volleyball since 11 years ago, and in the moment I play in the Italian National League.
How old are you, Adelina?
I am 19 years old and half, almost 20 years old.
Oh, that's that. I was asking this because it's baccalaureate period in Romania and living cert in Ireland. In Ireland, it's a little bit more psychotic than normal, in my opinion. And I'm a teacher saying this here. But I suppose everywhere is a little bit serious. So 11 years ago, a 9 or a 10, when did you start volleyball?
I started volleyball when I was 7 years old. Not really. That's when I first came to a practice. But
Okay.
I started going like serious when I was 8 years old, 9, because my first coach was a friend of my parents.
Okay.
So yeah, they introduced me to him, and I liked this sport, and I started going to practices.
From my knowledge in Botoșani, you have a big tradition in women's volleyball. I remember when I was playing, you always had good, even if the senior team was coming and going, the junior level was always very strong there.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, now it stopped. I mean, we don't have, my city doesn't have a professional league anymore, professional team representing the city. But as I know, the junior clubs are still existing and they are doing a very good job. So this makes me happy.
That's cool. Have you played any sports before you went to volleyball, or you went straight to volleyball?
No, I played tennis for a couple of years when I was really little. I think 4 years maybe. I quit tennis when I was 8 years old, and I started as really little child. And also I did swimming, but you cannot say I played this sport because I was really a baby. Because my parents had a swimming school, so they just throw me in the pool and say go swim. So since I was 2 years old, I'm swimming. I still do it. I love it.
Funny you're mentioning that. I spoke in Ireland. It's very popular talking about athletes doing more sports, and a lot of volleyball players play tennis as well. I used to play tennis as well. So my first sport was tennis, and then I jumped into volleyball. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you found this, but volleyball players who are coming from tennis usually have very strong shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that very fast, and I know in Serbia it's very popular for volleyball players to play tennis first and then switch to.
Yeah, I made this transition because I don't know, I think I liked volleyball more at that moment. And yeah, I can say it helped me because I was probably moving quicker because in tennis you run a lot more than in volleyball.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you're the setter in volleyball, it's a good job.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm just joking. I'm not.
Yeah, luckily I'm not a setter.
we had a setter at Bacău once, and if the defense was too left and right at one point, say, guys, I studied to be a setter, not a runner. No, he was a very good setter, honestly. So during the games, he was running everywhere. But that's literally these topics I was talking, even with Tanasi before, people doing more sports. And now, are you doing any other sports for yourself, just for fun, just to relax outside volleyball, or because I know you're playing beach volleyball, but outside beach volleyball?
I also played beach volleyball like professionally for 3 years, but I was playing only in the summer because during the um, national season I was playing indoor volleyball. And yeah, like 2 years ago, I made this decision to quit beach volleyball also because I started playing at a higher level in indoor. So the time wouldn't allow me because I'm also part of the national team. So I really had no time to focus on my beach volleyball activity, so I had to quit. But for fun, sometimes, yeah, I play it, especially if I go to the beach or. And now, because of this quarantine that we are all in, I'm trying to work out as much as possible because I need to stay in shape for the next season. So yeah,
Uh,
these are the sports that, let's say, I'm doing.
when because you were saying playing high level beach volleyball, did you find it hard to recover after the indoor season and playing beach volleyball as well, or you had no problem with that? Or would you find it difficult?
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult at the beginning because you change the surface, you change some of the rules of the game, you change all the system. But I can say that beach volleyball really helped me when I was coming back to indoor because I always noticed that I was jumping higher, I was quicker, and I don't know, it really had a good effect on me.
Yeah. Because this is a big topic in Ireland. Beach volleyball is very popular as well, and actually there is a very organized community. They organize the CEV qualifications and such, and a lot of people were actually wanted me to ask you, after you were playing your beach volleyball season, how long how long was the transition to get back to the volleyball rules, especially volleys, jump, and even this, like you said, the system is totally different. So
Mhm.
how long, or did you find it very difficult to adapt afterwards?
It happened one time that I came straight after I finished the competition with beach volleyball, and I had to start practices indoor because the season was starting in like 2 weeks. And yeah, it was that time was really difficult because I just didn't have um, the feeling of the court. Everything was changed. In beach volleyball, the environment is completely different. You see the sun, you see a lot of space around you, but in a gym it's a closed space, so yeah, it was difficult, but let's say that maybe in 1 week I was getting better at it.
Yeah, look, because like I said, even Matt Anderson was asked the same question, but he was a little bit dodgy regarding his answer. But look, I totally agree with you. We used to go from Bistrica to Târgu Mureș to play beach volleyball because they have some nice courts there, and the reality you feel your legs very well. So, and when was your last tournament in beach volleyball, and you decided that's it, indoor only, ish, approximately?
Yeah, it was a beach volleyball satellite. It was in 2016, I think, 2016. um yeah, after that competition I went to the national team. I was playing juniors that time, and then I don't know, I just decided that I can't do this anymore because it was really difficult for me to switch every time and to adapt, like I said before. And yeah, I decided that that's gonna be the last time I play beach volleyball. It was painful because, I mean, not painful, but I was hurt because I really loved beach volleyball. But sometimes in life you need to make difficult choices, decisions.
Yeah, this is I like what you said because I spoke with a few other athletes from other sports, and they were saying, look, at young, old, beside the point, at one point you have to choose. I want this or I don't want it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
How much? How look? Nobody can make these choices for you.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes I also thought about focusing on beach volleyball and staying with it. I mean, becoming a professional beach volleyball player, but maybe the circumstances and the conditions that I had to, let's say, obey in my country so I
yes.
could play were a little bit Too difficult to make it work. So I just went on this road with indoor volleyball, and I'm really happy with my choice now because I'm I'm having good results and my career is going well.
I had the question, but anyway, it was for Bogdan, but it is, I think it's more suited to ask you this. How much did the support of your parents counted, and when did you actually felt it? Yeah, they actually supported me to pass something, because you had an impressive career so far, and I'm 100% sure at one point it was very stressful. So a lot of parents here ask me this: how can we support our kids to go in this direction? Because teenagers are teenagers. I don't care how gifted somebody is, you're still a teenager at 16, 17. So how did you feel that support from your parents?
They supported me a lot, and I think that every athlete that has the support from the parents has, I don't know, let's say something extra to help him achieve his goals. Because imagine that I left home when I was 14 years old and I'm the only child. I don't have brothers or sisters. And I always had a very good connection with my parents, especially, but also with all my family. So the thing that I wanted to leave was, of course, was difficult to be accepted for them, but they just believed in my dream and they made it happen. And now they follow me everywhere with the tournaments and everything when they can, of course. And I don't know, we are very happy with our choices. I can say that the support of the family is extremely important, and I hope all the parents can let their children to achieve their goals. And yeah.
It is important because, like I said, look, as coaches, we are always put in this dilemma. We are trying not to be pushy with our students, but when was the decision taken for you? Okay, I'm very serious. I have to go from home, because I don't think, like you said, I don't think that was easy for your parents. How did that happen? Okay, I have to. You went to Timișoara, if I'm not mistaken, the first time, correct?
Yeah, which was in the other corner of the country, and to get there I had to go with a 16-hour train way. So
Used to commute with that
it
train.
was it was crazy. It was really crazy. But like I said, I don't know, I really wanted it because I couldn't continue professionally, unfortunately, here in my town. And this opportunity came, and we discussed about it. It was difficult, of course, to accept it because I was a child. I was a teenager, okay, but I was a child because at home I was always with my family, with my parents. I was never alone, so I was going to live alone, to do everything on my own. It was a huge change in my life, but I told them I want this, and they made it happen.
Ah, you're lucky. A lot of people are interested, especially at your kind of career, because you moved from the age of 14. How did you manage with your school, your studies? Did you find it easy? Did you find it hard to make new friends, or you relied only on your volleyball community as a circle of friends and such?
No, I did not rely only on my volleyball community, and I think that the fact that I also tried to communicate, to be friends with people from school, and I don't know, classmates, was making it easier because, of course, my time, because of the practices, didn't allow me to go to school every day or to do everything like my teammates, like my classmates did. But yeah, they made it easier, my classmates, and I think this is the secret, like to find the balance, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good, that's a very mature opinion, to be honest with you. I wish a lot of volleyball players would think like that. Uh, I was asked by a few club members from a local club. I personally look about nutrition. I will be honest with you, I don't believe in nutrition. I believe in balance, but that's just me. So I never calculated my carbs, my whatever, ever. But it is a popular subject. So they've asked me, how do you approach your diet, your nutrition diet? Or do you have a diet, or you don't care?
No, I care a lot. I try to eat as healthy as possible, but honestly, now it's kind of difficult because I'm home, and
Yeah.
here in my area in Romania, Moldova, we have so good dishes. It's impossible not to try some. But of course, I always think that the moderation is key. So you can have a treat, you can eat something sweet, just don't exaggerate, don't go over the limit. And when I'm not home, when I'm away and I cook for myself, every time I eat a lot of veggies, and I don't know, I try to eat as healthy as possible. I don't count my calories now, but I like estimate them. So yeah, I I see something on a plate and I eat it.
No, like I said, this is a weakness of mine. But look, I always had a balanced diet until now. I started again because at one point I went off rail. But for example, I know in men's volleyball, it's if you're 1 meter 90, it's indicated to be 85, 90 kilos, not to jump too much over your weight. Are you trying to keep your weight in balance as the same weight as your height, not affect your knees, your back, and such? You're jumping mostly.
I'm trying to have the weight that I was advised to have, because in the professional volleyball life, we are getting checked. You need to stay on a specific weight that it's told to you after some checks, some measurements. But for me, if I had the same weight like my height, I think it was a lot more than I should have. So
Okay.
no, no, this is not a rule for me.
Like I said, in men's volleyball, it's a little bit different. That's why I was
Men's and
interested.
women's, they have different bodies.
Yeah, but what I liked about what I'm seeing in the Italian Championship, it's especially you're playing outside the heater. I'm seeing that women's volleyball are using actually the same techniques and the same strength, more or less, in men's volleyball. And I can swear to God that half of the Italian Championship hits harder than a lot of the men that I've met. So how would you be, it's clear that's a proper physical training. How hard would be the fitness training, and what type of weights would you use?
Honestly, in Italy, we use more loads than I was using when I played in Romania. And I think this makes the difference. And also, the physical preparation is more tough, let's say. But I don't know. The Italian league is something magic, is something special. I think you cannot say that it looks like any of the European leagues or another leagues. I think it's unique, honestly. I don't know. It has its own magic.
Well, they're Latins and they have passion. So when they jump in something, I can see.
Yeah, and of course, Italy has a very big tradition of volleyball. So maybe this is what it makes it so special.
I was looking at your teammates from Italy. Jesus Almighty, that's a list. When you arrived there, how did you felt between them? Because, like I said, Jesus Almighty, that's a list. I've seen there's some big names there. So how did you felt between them? Do you feel intimidated, or do you felt motivated? Okay, I can go better than them actually.
No, I felt very good. I was already happy with my choice before I was going there, but I like challenges, so it was really nice to go on a team with more experienced players, because you have something to learn from every person. So yeah, it was a very good experience for me, and I felt really good with this thing.
Yeah. I have here a few people asking questions. Z is a lad who used to train with us, and he's asking, have you ever suffered from severe injuries? And if yes, how did you manage to overcome it? Or you were lucky from this point of view?
I was really lucky. until this point of my career, because I had like sprained ankles, and that's all the, I don't know, bad injuries that happened to me. And let's say that the worst was during a tournament. I was playing in the junior level when I got really hurt, really hit on my knee. I don't know how it happened, and they put. I don't think I know it in English, but it's that white thing that they put your legs or arms when you broke them.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, I know.
Can
Jesus,
you help?
I actually should know the word and I don't know it. So I'm sorry. They know it. Don't worry.
Yeah, gips. I don't know how it's called.
Yes, caps. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so they put my leg into that, and the next day I had to play the final. It was crazy. I cut it during the night and I played.
Wow.
That was, let's say, the worst. I shouldn't have done that, but I did it and we won, so now it's okay.
Uh, like I said, when I was looking over your CV, and because I actually know the history of a lot of the clubs you played in Romania, you had a lot of mental strength to go over a lot of things that happened there. How did you manage, let's just say, to stay positive? Because, for example, CSM Bucharest was a beautiful team, and it happened like what happened, and for sure, all of you were very close there. So, how did you manage to stay positive? Let's put it like this: stay positive in your career after these kind of things.
Yeah, it was really stressful what happened in Chiseme, because it was a very nice year. The atmosphere was good. We had good results. The team was nice. But sometimes in life things happen and you cannot control them. So you cannot stay mad over things that just aren't in your hands to handle. So I went over these things and I followed my career. So I made the next steps that I had to make for myself.
So, for example, I used to be in the same club with Bakshish. I know she's a very happy person as well. So, but like I said, from everyone there, you kept a very nice direction in your career, and not which, by the way, I was shouting here when you girls won the silver cup. How was that? So,
Uh, that was really nice, a really nice experience, because nobody was expecting it.
yeah, that's true.
It came after a really good revenge, let's say, and comeback after the final. It was, let's say, something that woke us up in our history with the national team, and let's hope that we go in front like this.
But your generation, most of the girls, look, your generation, it's a very good generation in volleyball. The entire, basically, you girls kind of opened everything in general for Romanian volleyball. Do you still keep in touch with your ex-teammates from from the national team, from the junior level? I mean, not from the seniors. Do you still in touch
Yeah,
with
we
them?
keep in touch even if our roads are completely different. Some went to university in America, some are playing abroad, but in different countries. But we hope that we can change something and achieve really good results in the future for the national team with this generation.
Like I said, I'm everyone who knows me. If they start the discussion with me, especially older players, in my time, I explode. I honest to God, I hate that. And I know you know why what I'm saying here. How did you manage you girls? Because as a team, I remember looking at your games as much as possible, juniors and seniors. You were very compact. It's obvious it was a very compact team. First six and reserves as well. How did you manage to stay motivated for the under 16, under 19? Under 19, you girls had brilliant results as well. So how did you manage to overpass that mentality while the other teams are much better than us? So what's the point?
Yeah, it was difficult because sometimes we played against teams and we had no chance, like we knew it, but we always fought and we played with our heart. I think this is the secret. And yeah, we had a good connection also between us. So we just loved being on the court and playing for the national team. I think this is all that mattered. We didn't think about, oh, those are better, oh, those are higher, or no. It was just us on the court enjoying the moment.
Yeah, that's actually quite a good answer. Here in Ireland, we like to say, as well, our team at least, we are like to say, play the point, not the match. So
Exactly.
take it how they come.
Have
Uh,
fun. Enjoy.
a few people were asking me from, well, if it's from volleyball, maybe from other sports. So, do you have any sport personalities that have influenced you how you play or how you approach sport? Doesn't matter if it's volleyball or other sport. Would you have somebody literally had an impact on you?
If we're talking about people who had an impact of me, I will say always my parents, because like I said, they supported me a lot. It doesn't have to be a public person, right? You don't have to.
No. Of course not. Of course not.
So yeah, they are the persons who are the closest to me. So they are my everyday support and inspiration and everything. And then, of course, I follow big personalities from sports, like the Romanian tennis player, Simona Halep. She's super motivated, even though, she's, like we talked before, she's not so tall like the
Yeah.
other tennis players. She just overcomes everything, She's a super good player. And also, I like Ekaterina Gamova. She's retired now, but for me, she's the best volleyball player of all the times. She's great. Yeah.
She had a strong personality as well. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, I remember a couple of years ago talking about a subject regarding the age of 16, 19, and 21 critical ages in sport. And at the age of 17, usually when approximately, I'm not saying 16, 17, you have in general uh, kids who simply don't want to push themselves so hard anymore. How did you manage to stay that motivated during that period? Because I'm pretty sure you had a lot of trainings. Those trainings weren't easy and they are not easy. And like you said, you have to choose. So when somebody's going out for a birthday party, you have no choice. You have to be here. So how did you find motivation for that, or wasn't?
No, I always thought about this like very important decision that I made, and I knew that it's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices. I started with leaving home, and then everything that came on the way, I just got it and accepted. Like you just need to go through difficult times to achieve great things. I always said it, like you need to have a road with obstacles to enjoy the destination.
Well, that's true. The road is more important. I, like I said, I'm as well very fascinated about the Italian Championship. What was the best thing and what was the hardest thing when you started playing there? What impressed you most about them?
I was impressed because I came to the practice and the ball wouldn't fall on the floor. I mean, there was defense everywhere. It was block touches. It was good reception. It was everything that you can imagine in volleyball. But yeah, this really impressed me. But this also motivated me a lot to get better because I knew that the level requires it. So that was it. And you asked me about the worst thing.
Uh, Hardest, not worse. The
Okay.
hardest.
The hardest thing, that was just at the beginning. After it was really okay. I think it was the fact that it was difficult to communicate because I didn't speak Italian and they prefer to speak Italian there. But after I learned it, it was really easy. And of course, the fact that I was very far from home made it a lot harder. But I got used to it and we found a way to meet and to be okay, me with my family.
I have here a few questions from Newbridge Volleyball Club. It's a local volleyball club for girls. Actually, very good club. You'll be considering the level in Ireland. I'll be honest with you, Newbridge is very high. They're very organized. And the girls, the under 17, I think they have a few questions. So the same. What would be the most memorable game or moment in volleyball for you now? So memorable match or game or particular period of time.
Well, I had a lot when I was junior, but now I can say that it happened this year during this season. It was really, really amazing. It was a crazy game, let's say, because we were playing against Candici, a really good team in Italy, one of the best, and they were leading. They were having 2-1 on the sets in front of us, and in the fourth set it was 24-18, and I went on the serve to serve, and after that we managed to do 6 points in a row. We
Impressive.
Yeah, we went on 24-24 with them, and then we won the game 3-2 in tiebreak, 15-13. Yeah, that was crazy. It's a really, really nice memory. I still feel it, you know.
The girls are interested. How do you manage to juggle school, social life, and sport at the same time?
I think you just need to be very organized and find the good timing for everything, because you cannot stay on Facebook while you're at practice or while you're doing weights or something. You just need to find the good times for each thing, you know. So I think this is the secret, let's say. I never mix them.
I can promise you that Coach Landers, he's the coach from Newbridge, absolutely smiles after your answer. He's a very, very disciplined, used to be in the army, very disciplined lad. The same, what's your, what motivates you to play, to keep it up like this? Because it's a very intense career what you have. So what keeps you going?
I really love it, you know. I mean, when I'm on the court, when I'm in practice, when I'm playing, I'm super happy. It makes me happy. If it didn't, I would have stopped. But no, I think it's worth it, and I just go for it 100% all the way.
Yeah, good answer. The same, me and a few friends always talk about the program of professional volleyball players, and just got the question as well. What would be your standard program when you start the season? So especially now, since you started playing professional, what would be your standard week?
Well, I'm always getting like 8 hours a night sleep, 7-8 hours a night, and then I woke up at 7:30 in the morning. I make breakfast, I drink a coffee. At 9, I always have practice. I go to practice for 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, depends if it's weights or ball practice, sometimes both. Then I come home, I have lunch, I rest a little bit, I go to the second practice. I stay there for 3 hours always, because this is how we do it in Italy.
So the second training is always 3 hours in Italy?
2 hours and a half, 3 hours.
That's a lot.
Something in between. This is the level, the amount of training in Italy. And then I have dinner, rest again, and sleep, and start over.
So would that be from even if you okay, matches are usually Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, correct?
Are always Sunday in Italy.
Sunday.
Yeah,
so Saturday, would you have 2 trainings or 1 training?
Sorry, before the game?
So before the game, the day before the game, yes.
Yeah, before the game, it's always 1 practice. I think
1
it's
practice.
everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I met some interesting people out there. So, because this is what I was talking to a few people saying, that the program for professional sport usually is insane. Either you love it or you literally stop doing it.
Yeah, you need to live with it, because it's just a different kind of life, let's say, because you're moving to some place, then you're moving to another, then you always do it with practicing. You are always in the gym, and yeah, if you're willing to do it, I think it's worth it.
Do you find it difficult to interact with people who are not coming from high-level sport? I personally, to be honest with you, I find myself talking some things, and at one point I'm seeing people, oh, I just lose it. I swear to God.
Yeah, but I think it's more difficult for the people outside of the volleyball and or professional sports to understand what we are doing, because for us it's normal, for them it's not. So maybe for them would be more difficult. For me, honestly, I have no problem socializing with anyone. Like, if you're nice to me, if you want to talk to me, I will respond. I will be okay.
I remember when I was in Romania, a lot of my friends are from IT, and a lot of people are asking me, well, doesn't make sense, those lads are high level IQ. I say, yeah, but they want to be the best, and we have the same mentality, then we can talk. So I always compare it like that. So you want to be the best, it's
Yeah.
easy to interact. What plans do you have for the national team? Because I know it's a quarantine now, and I was reading the news, and it's just wow. But what plans would you have?
We were supposed to play the Golden League this year and have some training sessions, only practicing for the next year for the European Championship. But today the CEV, the European Confederation of Volleyball, they just announced that the Golden League is cancelled and postponed. So no plans for the moment. We are just waiting for news.
I used to talk with some colleagues here about training camps. Have you felt any difference between the training camps the Italians are having and the training camps the Romanians are having? Because there are two different schools in physical training there before the season starts.
Yeah, everything is different because in Italy, we focused on technique, like the way we started, the way we were doing when we started volleyball, like the way you hold your hands when you're doing a reception, the way you set, the way you attack, all the movements. But Romanian, I think they focus more on the cardio, on the physical preparation. It's different.
Yeah, because I was noticing that I was chatting with some Italians here, and they were talking a lot about technique. And I know for us, you go, you stay in camp, and you come like a bodybuilder from there.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you're going with the national team, when you went for the Silver Cup, how much preparation did you girls had before the tournament?
Oh, that was different for me because I was also doing the I don't know how it's called in English, like the graduation exam for high school.
Yes, okay.
So
It's
I
leaving
was
cert here. Yeah.
yeah. So I was gone.
Junior cert, sorry.
Yeah, I was gone for school for some days. For other days, I was coming to practices. It was really difficult. But the girls, they stayed like 1 month and a half preparations before the competition.
That's something.
Before the final, sorry. Before the final, it was 1 month and a half because the competition started earlier. So
I was talking to my boys and with some of the girls here, saying that the junior championships are the worst because the program is made for the seniors and the juniors get what they have. That means you can have on the 2nd of January a tournament because they don't care. It ever happened to you to be like that?
Yeah, it happened many times. It was 1 year when I stayed in the national team preparations and tournaments, starting from December. I even spent my Christmas there, and we finished like end of January, and then in February we went back because we had the European Championships in March or April. So yeah, it happened. Whenever they call you, you have to go.
Yeah, because I always show the program of the European Championships to a lot of people. I say, yeah, it's an elegance regarding the seniors, but for the juniors, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
I
but
remember.
also
Yeah.
when you're a junior, like you don't care, like you just wanna play. You don't think about, oh, but wait, we played yesterday. Oh, wait, we played yesterday, or like this. No, for a junior, I think it's different the way we saw things.
Uh, I wanted to ask you regarding the matches against Beşiktaş. That was an intense match. How was the match against the Turks?
I don't think I remember.
Well, Cheseme, when you were playing with Cheseme, when you girls went in with
We played against Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce, sorry, Jesus, I was thinking about football. Now, seriously, somebody's going to send me, oh, and that's a big mistake. Somebody's going to send me a
Oh,
message
they
now.
also
That,
have a volleyball team. We just didn't play against them.
yeah.
We played in the pool of Champions League against the Turkish team Fenerbahce. It was really nice, of course, because volleyball is also really appreciated in Turkey. It was a good atmosphere. It was a nice game, but unfortunately, they were a lot better. So we did our best. We got a set, but we lost the game.
I remember seeing the news on all the Facebook channels. It was mad, I'm telling you. We were all trying to, because I personally didn't have any live feed. I had to look at the score online and people shouting in comments and stuff like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So after this quarantine, what's the plan? Would you still would like to stay in Italy if you liked it so much, or you have no idea yet?
I would like not to talk about this team.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
The world is focusing
But
on a lot bigger problems. So the volleyball and sports and everything now is kind of on a second, position. So yeah, I don't know when it's the good time. I will talk about it.
uh, like we started at the beginning, that you have a good junior program in Botoş, and you always had it because you always had very good coaches there for junior level. Are you still in touch with the junior program there when you have time? Like I said.
Honestly, I'm coming here very, very rarely. So now I'm really enjoying this period home. But no, I think I completely lost the contacts. I still know what's going on because, of course, we have social media ways to communicate and to see the things that are happening. And also, like I said, the coach who introduced me to the volleyball's world is a friend of my parents. So they talk and I know some things, but I didn't step in the gym that I started, I think, for 5 or 6 years. Now that you reminded me, maybe I will go after this finishes.
Because I'm pretty sure the kids there would look with a lot of admiration in your direction. And because that was my next question. Have you felt that from the kids? Because until now you were the kid everywhere by your CV, but now you're not the kid. So how do you feel that? Because when you go back, you're not the kid. You're the player. Point. You know.
This is life. Like I said, there are things that we cannot control. So we are all growing older. But yeah, I'm happy to see kids, or I don't know, little volleyball players that are starting from the same point that I started. And if I can help them or inspire them, I'm more than happy to do it.
Okay, Adelina. So we had a 45 minutes talk here. So I honestly thank you very much for accepting to talk to us.
Thank you too.
Because look, like I said, not I know you're used to being between a lot of high-level volleyball players, but the reality is a lot of players don't have the opportunity to talk to players your level. So thank you very much. I really appreciate this, honestly.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much to Doru, to your father, for making this possible as well.
I will tell him.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.